Okay, thank you very much for joining the pod once again. It's the LB pod, and it is Manchester United against Liverpool at the Old Trafford. And this game is actually a battle for third place. Liverpool are in fourth position, 3 points behind Manchester United, who are in third position. It is almost sealed for both teams to qualify to the Champions League next season. But for bragging rights' sake, Liverpool would want to go to the Old Trafford and put one on them. But the United boys are also determined to make sure that they get one over Liverpool this time round. So, Stana,
Yeah.
let's start with the lineup. From Liverpool's point of view, what lineup would you go into this game with, given the players that we have available? We know that up front it is Isak that is available. Eketike is not there. Do you think the manager might go 4-4-2 this time round and play Isak and Gakpo up front? Or you think he's going to stick to his usual 4-2-3-1 formation? And who do you think is going to start in this particular game?
Yeah, I think you'll go with a 4-4-2 and play with the normal four back, and play Curtis Jones as a right back. Then fill the other three midfielders in the Vets on the left of a midfield four, and then Gravenberg, McAllister, and then Soboslai. And then in the two, it will be Isak and then Cody Gakpo as the two forwards. That is what I think he will go with. But I had a slightly different idea, but I don't think the manager does that. But that is just a theory that I thought of. I would have still wanted him to go with the 4-3-3, the normal 4-3-3. But I would have wanted Cody Gakpo as usual on the left, Isak as the number 9, a midfield three of Curtis Jones, Soboslai, and then Florian Wirtz, and then play Bruyne as a right winger. That is what I would have done for this game since Salah wouldn't be available. And the reason why I would want a right-footed player like Bruyne on that side is for Isak. I feel we've talked a lot about Gyökeres, Arsenal not playing to Gyökeres' strength, and I feel it's the same way for Isak. If you look at the number of games he has played when it's been he hasn't been injured and has been on the pitch, he very rarely gets opportunities or chances. And if you watch Newcastle last season, the crossing of Jacob Murphy on that right-hand side as a right footer playing on the right was very crucial to how well Isak did. He fed off that very well. The crosses and the cutbacks from that right-hand channel was really something that Isak benefited from. And I feel like in the absence of Mohamed Salah, it should be something that we should be testing at this moment in time. Going even on to next season, it could be something that could really help us utilize the strength of Isak, because remember, at the start of next season, Ekitike wouldn't be there at the start. So it means Isak is our main guy going into next season. So we need to make sure we find a way to help him get the best out of him. So I would have wanted to see Bruyne on the right-hand side, or even Jeremy Frimpong, who is also a right footer, who is probably more comfortable there. But the tricky of Bruyne is something that I really like a lot. They will cause Diego Dallo or Luke Shaw, whoever will play on the right-hand side or the left back position for Manchester United to run for their money. That is what I would have wanted to see in that lineup.
So looking at the way United play, I think they are very good on the transition.
Yes.
That is how they beat Manchester City. That is how they beat Arsenal, maybe Arsenal to a lesser extent. So going into this game,
last week,
do you
Brentford.
think? Sorry?
Yeah.
Brentford, yeah. So they play on the transition a lot. And Liverpool is one team that always wants to slow the game down, pass the ball slowly, allow the opponent to settle in their shape, defend in a structured way, and try to break them down. And usually when the ball breaks, there's a lot of spaces to exploit. So do you think that this is how the game is going to play out? Liverpool having a lot of possession and Manchester United trying to break, or given that they are playing
Yeah,
at home, do you
I
think they will
think
try and carry the
99
game
times
to
of
us?
out of
Which I
100,
don't think is very likely,
what you just
by the
explained is
way.
exactly what we are going to see on Sunday. Liverpool having majority of the ball, Manchester United being more dangerous in terms of the transitions and the turnovers that they will have in the game. So it would mean that Man United will be looking to have control without the ball. They'll back themselves to be defensively solid against this Liverpool attack. And it would mean that they will try to soak up pressure and try and hit us on the break with Bruyne and with Bruno Fernandes just behind, linking the play and trying to cause havoc in terms of his creativity.
So how do you rate Liverpool's chances? This game is a game that has come at a time where I think there's a bit of less pressure on the manager. His job is not really on the line as we thought it would be at this stage. So we thought that coming to Old Trafford, it will be a do or die for Arne Slot, but it doesn't really feel like that anymore. Also, Liverpool almost seem to have already qualified for the Champions League, so there's not a lot riding on it. So do you think that could actually play to the advantage of Liverpool, because we don't really have a lot of pressure on us? The expectation on us to win this game is not as high. So do you think that could play
It
into our
should,
hands?
but
The
I don't know
players will
if
be
it
more
will,
relaxed.
if
They'll
it
be able
will,
to play their own game
because without any pressure on
much
us,
better.
Chelsea have really done a great job making us look better than we are at this moment in time. We are, a few points away from mathematically qualifying for the Champions League. And it even looks like we could even sweep third position if we are to beat Manchester United on Sunday. But yes, that is the point. If Liverpool, and I think also this is one of the few times going into a Manchester United Liverpool game that Liverpool are the favourites under Jurgen Klopp for a few years now, over the past getting to a decade or so. Most of the time, Liverpool go in as favourites in this fixture, but the tide has turned a little bit. Michael Carrick has really done a good job at Manchester United. He has made them stable, and so going into the tie for the first time in a while, United will be the favourite. That should be something Liverpool should be taking advantage of. We should be looking at the positive side of that. It would mean that the owners should be on Manchester United beating Liverpool, not the other way around. So that should give us some sort of confidence going into the game and trying to pull up a surprise on them, because they would feel that they have the momentum, they have everything in their favor, they have the fans behind them, and so they should be winning that game. So that is something we should be looking to use that to our advantage. And I'll give an example. A few years back when we won by 7 goals in our game Manchester United, in that particular season, Man United were the better side in terms of form. And that is the game, that is the season where Liverpool really struggled. I think that was Darwin Núñez's first season. We really struggled. Up until that point, we have lost a fair few games as well. But then we showed up and then we beat them very comfortably. And I just hope that they can replicate a performance of that sort on Sunday.
Yeah, I just have a feeling that Slot is going to have something up his sleeves for this United team. I'm just having that feeling that, given the amount of time he's had to prepare, we haven't played a game in a week, so he would have something prepared to surprise them at the Old Trafford. So before we go, your prediction: what do you think Liverpool is going to get
Yeah,
in this game,
I
or
think
if
United will
any?
score. United
Or
will
do you
get on the
think it's
score
going to
sheet.
be
As
a
to if
Manchester
Liverpool
United
will
win?
score,
As you said,
that will depend
they
on
are already
how Slot
considered the
approach the
favorite for
game,
this
the
game.
setup. So for prediction, I would go 2-1. And I think the 2-1 could go either way. So it could go for Liverpool or for Manchester United. But of course, with my Liverpool hat on, I would go the 2-1 for Liverpool. I just hope Arne Slot has something up his sleeve, just as you said, and he can be able to pull up a surprise. But I think United will score and Liverpool will not be able to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, finally, how do you think Salah's absence is going to affect Liverpool's performance or results in this game? Because he's one player who tends to score a lot at the Old Trafford. I think he scored even more goals than most Manchester United players currently at
Yeah.
the Old Trafford. So,
Considering
given
Salah's
that he's
form this
absent,
season, many people probably
um,
think maybe
how do
Salah
you think
being
that is going
out
to
could
affect our
probably
goals?
not be
Because
that bad because, of
without
course, he
Salah,
has had
sometimes we
a tough
struggle to
season. But
get the goals.
Salah is still one of the best goal scorers currently, even though he hasn't been at his best. He knows where the ball is going to drop. His run against Everton, the goal that he scored there, he just sniffs at chances. He knows he has great anticipation. He knows if he makes some sort of run, he will get at the end of a cross, at the end of a good pass if somebody is able to spot him. So it will be a great miss. But we should use this as an advantage to us as well because Salah doesn't really do a lot of the ball. So anyone who plays him in the 11 would mean we have probably a little bit more energy that we would have with Salah in the team. So I'm just picking up scraps here because without Salah, we will lose a lot in terms of the offensive third. And even his presence in the side would have meant that Luke Shaw or anybody on that United team in terms of their back four would be very wary of Salah. Even if they are advancing into their final third, they will be looking back of not being exposed because they know Salah has that sort of explosiveness. And when he's on top of his game, especially when he's at Old Trafford, he very rarely switches off. He always turns up at Old Trafford. So he'll be a big mess. I just hope that the manager will find a solution to Salah not being in the team and play and the right system, pick the right 11, and Liverpool can get something out of it without Mohamed Salah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
do think that on the right hand side, the manager might go with Jeremy Frimpong and play Curtis Jones at the right back or Gomez at the right back. In terms of Ruben Gumoha, I really don't think he's going to start Ruben Gumoha away at the Old Trafford. If it was a home game, maybe, but I don't think he's going to start him. But that is the review or the preview, sorry, of our game with Manchester United at the Old Trafford. We will be back to review that game after Sunday and then see how the game went. Thank you all for listening and for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you are new here. Also like the video, hype the video, and also comment down below. Let us know your thoughts and where you are watching from. See ya.